Welcome to Unforbidden Truth. I'm Andrew. This is part 3 of my interview with convicted murderer Richard Allen Davis.
So I tell them, they ask, I tell them now she's dead. I said she was alive when the sheriff pulled me out of the ditch. But, she was alive at that point? I said, yeah, she was alive. She was sitting up on the side of the hill. I said, but after the cops escorted me out of the area, then they turned around and booked off another area. I turned around and went back up there and got her. Put her in the car, and we came down, hit the road hit to 101 and went south towards San Francisco. And that's when we hit that little town, went through Cloverdale, Healdsburg, and a few others, and got to Cloverdale. And from driving back from my sister's house when I was staying at the halfway house, on the side of the road I see this little wood mill where they burn sawdust and shit. And then there's this big old berry bush, man, big old fucking thing. And that's when I pulled in there, and we're sitting there parked, and she's standing out on the passenger side, asking me if I was going to let her go. I told her, yeah, let me think about things for a minute. I got to think about things. And I'm trying to think, I got to, if I don't, then I'm going back for a kidnapping and fuck the stupid shit. And I'm sobering up. When the cops pulled me out of the ditch up there, I had a beer and I cracked it open and started to drink it. And the cop looked at me and told me, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" I told him, "What?" I said, "I've been trying to dig the tire out, man. I'm fucking dusty and thirsty." He said, "You can't drink that beer. Give me that fucking thing." He poured it out on the fucking road, And I had 2 more in there. He popped them open, poured them out, man. And that's how fucked up I was. I was still high as a kite. I smoked this thing. I had this thing called you ever hear of a body bag?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Like almost every single drug combined in one, right?
Yeah, it's got everything mixed in it. It's got bud, but it's got X mixed in it. Crack, fucking every kind of thing. And you smoke this thing, and you get high as a fucking kite. And normally I take a hit and hold it, put it out, let it go, and see how high I get. I'm not that fucking high. I'll take another hit. And same thing like I used to smoke PCP. Take a hit at a time and see, wait till, if I take another hit there, I'm going to be blown out. So this is good enough. I put it up to save it. But I guess I overlooked. I smoked too much. Man, I was fucking blazed out. And so this was I was sobering up. And I figured, man, I got, what the fuck you going to do? I fucking got to get rid of her. And this is when I fucking grabbed that piece of fucking, that tire or whatever, tights that was sitting on the seat, reached in to grab it, and just wrapped it around my neck and started pulling on that motherfucker. And tightened it, fucking tight, man, tightened it to a fucking, went about, drew her neck up to about the side of a fucking, on toilet paper roll, the hard plastic, the hard cardboard tube. Fucking drew her neck up on that fucking tight. And fucking her arm reached back and it was coming towards my arm. And I remember reading about people scratching, getting fucking knocked her arm away. And her arm fell back down. I think it was just reaction, being strangled. And I tied a knot in it and dropped it to the ground. And she laid there for a while, and that was it. That's why I figured, okay, now I got to get rid of her. What are you going to do it? and take her to the coast. I'm only about 10 miles from the coast, but I didn't know the coast area in this part of town. So I saw a big old berry bush. Man, I grab her arm and ankle and start swinging around and around and around, start getting momentum, and whew, let her go, and she flies up, and man, about 10, 15 feet up in there, and ducks down into the berry bushes. And that's when I get that piece of plywood and chuck it on top of her, and some other pieces of wood laying around 4x4, just to cover from the aerial view, in case somebody gets up and tries to look in there. So that was that. And I drove back to the halfway house. Then all the media bullshit started.
Right. Speaking of the media, can you talk about the infamous photo of you flipping off the family or the media, whoever it was you were flipping off? Can you talk about that?
Here's the thing. I wasn't flipping the family off. The camera was originally right behind me, in front of my brother, in front of my brother-in-law and sister and them, right? And I told the bailiffs they had that stun gun belt on me, 50,000 volts. And I told the bailiff, if they come back guilty on that fucking attempted lewd act, I'm going to turn around and flip the cameras off. I'm letting them know so they don't zap my ass. They knew it was a bullshit charge me with that shit. But they just wanted to hype it up as to why else would the kidnapping happen. They wanted to have it related to the possibility of some kind of sex crime. Though there wasn't nothing happened. I mean, they shipped the whole body back to Quantico, Virginia. And the top DNA lady fucking checked everything. And she was on the stand. And my lawyer was growing her. His bitch wouldn't even look at my lawyer. She'd look at the DA, but she wouldn't look at my lawyer. She didn't like defense attorneys. But she had to admit that there was nothing, she could find nothing. And she was telling my lawyer that she found evidence of bodies that were 3 years in the ground. She would find evidence. She could found evidence of bodies that were on top of the ground for a few years to be able to find evidence. She's telling people, see the little dust flying around? All I need is a micrometer of that, and I could find proof, but there was none. She had to admit there was nothing. But yet they wanted to keep this assumption going that that's the only reason why this kidnapping happened. So the cameras were right behind me. Now, I'm waiting for the jury verdict, a guilt phase, and the bailiffs are taking a break, and one of the bailiffs from another court is walking by the TV van parked along the curb down on the street, and he hears his partners talking, them and the court personnel, the reporter and shit. And wait a minute, he said, what are they doing in the van? And he looks in, he says, hey, Mike. And looks around, and they ain't there. They got a recording. They kept the mic on the TV. You know what I mean? They got a microphone. So they could record everything being said. So he goes up there and he tells them, hey, man, they got this fucking mic on the TV turned on, and they're listening to you guys they're talking about how they didn't like the father because they felt he was guilty in some way, and other people in the jury room, in the court personnel, so they get pissed and they go to the judge. They tell him, look, we want the cameras taken out. They got the mic on, and they're recording us down there, conversation during the break. So the judge fucking calls the media people in there. What they call it in-camera hearing. I can't be in there. Just my lawyers, the bailiffs, and the camera people. And so they tell them to move the camera away from the bailiffs, the court reporter, and they stick it in the aisle. You know, there's two sets of seats. There's a walkway. And, you know, victim's family sits on one side. And my family was on the other side. Plus a whole bunch of other people. So I come back in, and the camera's not right behind me. I was just going to turn around and flip them off if they came back guilty on that charge. Now, the one bailiff is wearing glasses. He was telling me, you ain't going to do that. I said, yeah, watch. No, I'll fucking do it. Nah, you ain't going to do it. You ain't got the heart. I said, yeah, just don't hit that fucking button. That's why I'm letting you know. So he starts taking a bet with his other buddies. He's telling me, yeah, the dude's going to do it. Yeah, he won about $500. So anyway, when the jury comes back, and right when they fucking read that charge, if you're able to get on your computer and review the guilt phase, as soon as they start reading guilty of this, guilty of that, and they say attempted lewd charge, guilty, that's when I turned to the camera. And I winked and smooched at the camera and gave him both the fingers. My lawyer tried to grab me, the male guy, Colin, tried to get me turned, but it's too late. I already got him. So I wasn't doing it towards the family. I was doing it towards the camera.
Did you address the family at all?
No, I didn't really care for the father, man. You know, I talked to people in the park, and people were, my investigator kept asking me, ladies, two separate ladies, saw you talking to a slim blonde-haired guy driving a four-door Honda Silver. Who's that? I told him, fuck if I know, man. I was high as a kite. They said, well, they said that he turned and pointed down the street where she lived, where the mother lived and all that. I said, man, I don't really remember, man. I was high as a kite. He said, come on, man, you got to remember. And he's trying to insinuate that it could be the father, that he set me up to go do it. And I told him, man, I was high as a fucking kite. Come on, smoking his body bag. And I hit too much. And I don't know who if I was talking to anybody, I don't know who was or whatever, man. You know? But I just didn't like the way I knew no sexual thing happened. Yet the father was always getting out on the court steps. He raped my daughter. He said all this shit. And I'm telling him, man, why? He knows it ain't true. Why the fuck is this dude saying this shit? You know, besides what she said to me on the side of the road where I got stuck in the ditch, and I told her, let's go sit up over here because I don't know who lives there, and I don't know who might show up. And that's when she said, you know, just don't do me like my dad. I told her, no, ain't nothing gonna do it. Nobody, no kind of way.
That's you?
Yeah. You know, she did say that, and I told the cops, I don't know if that was a phrase that her and her friends thought of, or, you know, if they were in a position, you know, just to, like I told her, no. I told the cops about it. They mentioned it. But no, he's always getting on the court steps talking about I raped his daughter, sodomized his daughter, and all that. And I'm thinking, man, he knows the DNA lady was on the stand, Quantico, Virginia, said nothing happened. Why this motherfucker? I told my lawyer, get out there and fucking tell him, hey, there ain't nothing like that happened. But he didn't want to get in no standoff with the guy out in front of the court. So that's why I started getting an attitude towards the motherfucker. And the judge, especially the judge, because he was doing funny ass shit, you know, helping the DA out. And so that's why, you know, I figured, man, I fucking disrupt his court proceedings, and that's why I fucking went and smooch, flipped the cameras off. You know, and they came back guilty on that one charge. But I made that statement towards the father at the end of the penalty phase when they asked if I had anything. I had things wrote it out, but I didn't write everything out that I said at the end. You know, about what she said, you know. And that's why I said, you know, people got dues to pay, you know. I got my dues, you got your dues. And so I told the judge, as far as about his ruling, you know, like they say, you know, everybody's got an opinion, you know, and what's that thing about assholes? You know, I forget it now. But that's why I said it, for my actions in the court, it was easy for the judge to keep the death penalty on. So does that cover everything?
So I know you spoke a little bit about it already, but everybody always wants to know, the underlying question is, why did you do it?
Why did I do it? I know I was standing when I pulled the bells off the door and looked in so they didn't make no noise. And I saw the mother and the young daughter sleeping there. And I closed the door, put the bells back on, and I looked through the crack of the window where I heard I thought it was a TV, and I saw movement in there. I didn't know who all was in there. So I figured, man, you know, I could either turn left and go out the door or turn right and let's get shit going, because shit wasn't going right for me anyway. Might as well do something and grab I just did a carpe diem, grab the world and shake it, you know. But I didn't think there was going to be 3 kids in there. I thought there was just one in there, and the other one was, the younger one was sleeping with the mother, so I had to figure, you know, I was looking around, figured they tried the other kids, you know, and shit was going on in my mind, you know, and I just fucking did it, man. You know, there was no rhyme or reason, you know, to the madness. Stepped in there and, you know, they were shocked. I had a knife, told them all to lay on the floor, and then I started asking, who lives here? You know, why am I going to take someone that don't live there? I'll go take the one that lives there, you know. And I could have aimed at everybody, but I thought, nah. I ran that through my mind, you know, and I thought, nah, you know.
So when you were taken to jail, were you housed in jail with other inmates?
Well, a single cell. For the first part, no, I wasn't housed in the regular part of the jail. I was housed in segregated parts, I guess, because there was other guys across the way, and I could hear other inmates talking, but I saw one dude, and he looked at me and shook his head, and I said, I guess he already saw something on the news. You know, I couldn't figure out where. They must got a day room around here or something. So then we went to take this walk on the cement pathway to where they were going to do the lineups and shit. And I seen all these reporters running around the building, sneaking out in the corner of the cameras, trying to take a photo. You know, and the sheriff's yelling, "There's one over there! There's one over there! Get that one over there!" And get off the grounds or whatever. You know? But then they walked me straight down to the courthouse, you know, right down Main Street almost. You know, I thought, man, anybody can walk up and pull a Jack Ruby on me, man. You know where he shot Oswald?
Right.
Yeah. I saw that as a kid, TV, in the classroom, and watched Kennedy got shot. I was in 3rd grade. Teacher pulled the TV in the classroom for us to watch him in Dallas. Well, we didn't really wasn't tripping on that, but we wasn't paying all that much attention, you know, until teachers started running around screaming, "They killed us! They killed us! They killed us!" What? We started looking at the TV then, and that's when we saw his wife trying to scramble out of the car, and the other guy pulled her back, and he's all slumped over. "Oh man, what's going on?" You know. And then the cameras cut out. Yeah, I saw that on TV as a kid. You know. Timothy Leary. That's the guy I was thinking about when I was a kid up there in the hills. We lived up the road from Ken Kesey, and he wrote that book, Sometimes a Great Nation, and made a movie out of it. But he had this school bus with a platform on it, and his little buddies would fucking be playing instruments as they're driving down the road, and they're all sitting on top, playing snare drums, playing the trumpet, got a little band going on. But these guys, I got the date, I got the pamphlet with the date. They invited 500 Hells Angels up into this town. And the town population's only 500 to begin with. They got all these motherfuckers up there. And Timothy Leary and Ken Kesey trip them on to acid. They call it, that dude, Iron Wolf, wrote that book sometime. Electric Kool-Aid acid test. About that. And they had motherfuckers wandering around everywhere. Closed the stores, the bars, everything locked up. All these Hells Angels. Yeah.
After you were convicted and sentenced to death, did you have any emotional reaction to that?
No, I knew that was going to happen. I knew I was going to get the death sentence when I did this. When I was standing in the house, and I thought, look, if you go through with this, if you take this girl and kill her, and you probably going to get the death sentence, you know, and things weren't going well for me anyway. You know, fucking, even though I lost a job, I tried getting another one, and because of my age and criminal background, people just didn't want to hire me. You know, then I had to get that painter job to the fucking AA group dude. I wasn't going to it, but he wasn't. He was the one that said he knew a guy that was hiring painters, hiring Burlingame Ford up on top of the building. He got a little ledge about 3 foot wide, goes all the way around the building, about 2 stories up, and had to get up there and paint around the Burlingame Ford sign, the light sign, and nobody wanted to do it. So the guy I hired on to do it. Man, I had a ladder right up there, and you know, that's when the cops showed up. I guess I hit the window where the burglar alarm was. I was rolling the paint on the wall, and the fucking dude, he took off because he thought he had a warrant. Left me. I knew I was going to get the death sentence, and I went ahead and did it anyway. You know, even when the jury was deliberating all that time. You know, people on the news talking about, oh, yeah, he's on a bullet train to San Quentin to death row. And he don't, fuck, I knew I was going there. I knew I wasn't getting no action. With all the media attention, especially whenever I went to go see my sister and drove by, they had a big auto right alongside the freeway, Petaluma. They had all these big old dealerships. And they had a big sign for advertising, but it was always mentioning her name. Where's Polly? Call his name. All these pictures all over people's cars, all over the storefronts, even there in the halfway house. You know, and every time I go to the parole office, got all these posters. The first one with the headband, and then the second one, what they call a more detailed drawing. But my nieces made a statement when that one came out. I'll see, Uncle Rick, we knew that wasn't you. So what? I said, you thought that was me? She said, no, not really. Well, we were wondering, but now we know that wasn't you with this, because you don't look nothing like it. And yet the broad who did that drawing was trying to take credit for being the one, and she wasn't the one. That took heat off of me. But every time I go to the parole office, report in, fucking, they got them fucking posters everywhere. And they asked my parole officer, you know, fuck, he says, man, let's look at the dude's record. This ain't his type of crime. He's always about money, robberies and shit. There was no call. And that idiot black dude called for a ransom dropped off. Thought he'd make some quick money. I'm fucking idiot. You can't call ransom nowadays. Shit. And he got arrested. He was shading that court. I was watching him on TV, laughing with the other dudes in the halfway house. That was a stupid motherfucker. He's shaking like a leaf. They got him scared like a motherfucker. And then you had stupid people doing shit like that. You know?
So nowadays how do you spend an hour in prison?
Well, I got everything I need, you know. Doing time-wise, I'm set up, you know. Medical-wise, I mean, you know, my liver and kidneys failing. I had hep C, and the medical staff never told me about it. And so I didn't know, or else I would have fucking got treatment, got it cured years. I was on the road 28 years. That was, medical staff never told me. I didn't until I got that pneumonia. And everybody else was getting COVID and dying around me there at San Quentin. I got pneumonia, and first my kidney and liver was breaking down, and my legs started swelling up. First my feet, they got looking like Fred Flintstone feet. Then my legs got so swollen, and I got in bed. I got the left leg up. I couldn't lift the right leg up in the bed. I had to droop the blanket over my leg, go to sleep. It was that big, man, you know, I'm fucking hardly walking. I went to go call the shower cleaner, ADA shower cleaner. I went in there, and I felt really bad. I said, oh, man, I kneeled down, and I couldn't get back up. I had to call for the officer, the guy working the tier. And I told the gunman, hey, I need the officer. And he came back. I said, hey, man, I need that wheelchair. I said, man, I can't get up. He said, what? I said, he says, did you hurt yourself? I said, no, I didn't fall and hit my head or anything. I just wasn't feeling good. Knelt down, kneeling on the chair here, and now I can't get up. Now I need someone to help put me in a wheelchair, get me back to myself. So he had to have two other officers that were willing to do it. He wanted to call a man down. But I didn't want him to do that because that's only if you injure yourself. Then they can come at me and say, well, it's a false man down and try and give me a write-up of 115 for it. So, no. So, and after I couldn't go shower no more, sitting up for 4 days, I thought, fuck this. I finally told the nurse I needed to see the doctor. The doctor came. I thought, man, I gotta go to the hospital, man. So my legs are so swollen. I fell out one time, slipped off the plastic bucket I was sitting on. I had a state blanket folded up on top. I slipped. I couldn't get up. I laid on the floor for 4 hours till I finally went by. And doing that every half hour check, I said, hey, man, I need help getting up. It's what? You hit your head? No. They called the fire department. Big old inmate had to come into the cell and grab me up under my arms. But when he did, the right arm slipped. And he still put, I thought, whoa, my arm, man. And he fucking ripped the rotary cup. I heard it. You know when you go to cook a chicken, and it's full and you got to break it apart? You know when you break the legs off and you hear that cartilage breaking? That's what my shoulders sound like now. My right arm, I can't even lift it above my head. And I'm all fucked up. So, hey, I'm in this big medical cell. I was there at Stockton in the row. Everybody being transferred out. Figured, hey, Stockton went there. The first unit they put me in, the other dudes were so fucked up that they couldn't. A few of them made statements while I was getting hot water. Polly wanted a cracker. And I heard him. And I thought, well, as long as this dude, if he wants to get into my face and say that, then it's a whole different issue. Then we'll have to deal with it. But, I'm just saying it behind my back. I ain't biting into that shit. And I was only coming out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to get hot water for coffee. So really hot water. They took the hot pots from us there at Stockton. So I had to come out and use the hot water spigot. They had extremely hot water. And I'd come out at 2 o'clock and 5:30 after dinner, get hot water and go back in. I had my tablet for phone calls, had my TV, radio. So, I was hanging in with these dudes in the unit. These dudes are sitting in a chair. They got helmets on. They're all fucked up. Some dudes are sitting there, their arms all twisted up like them paraplegic motherfuckers, fucking snot all hanging out their nose. Some dudes are wearing diapers. You smell shit on them as they walk by. So I wasn't trying to hang out in the dude. I just come out, get hot water, and go back in. I did that for 4 months. They had no problem. Nobody said nothing. I'd go to the doctor. I'd have to go out by myself to the doctor. Went down R&R, got package. But since I wasn't out and about, nobody was really catching on to who I was. I was always keeping aware of the conversations around me, waiting for somebody to say, hey, man, there's that dude, and then see what happens. But that never happened until they sent me to that other unit. Some official thought, hey, man, dude's been having it too good. Let's send him to another unit where, they need workers there in the prison. So not everybody medically fucked up. So some of these guys, they're, doing all burpees and in good shape. And I'm stuck in this wheelchair rolling around. And I got to keep my eyes open, to ears open to what's being said, seeing if my name mentions. There's two guys from the row in there. Fredrickson, I forget his first name. I knew him down at CMC in the 90s when I had the Nexer in the lower deck. I got stuck on a cell with one of his friends, you know. Goofy, yeah, he's a mental health motherfucker. He was there, and this other dude named, call him Wayne, call him Weimenheimer. I think that's his last name, something like that, Weimenheimer. He was from the road. Now, I don't know if one of them started telling dudes, hey, you know who that dude is over there? Dude, that's a three-strike law guy, and all that. Because when shit happened, all the cops mentioned was three strikes. They didn't mention the crime, the kidnapping, killing of the girl. They just mentioned three strikes. Oh, this is the guy responsible for the three-strike law. And at first, when I got hot water, I had my door slightly ajar. I leaned in, put the cup on the sink, pulled my arm back, was ready to open the door up more, and scoot in, and boom! The next thing I knew, I'm laying there kind of dazed and all fucked up, and I couldn't speak. My arms and legs weren't moving all that well, and I'm just laying there, and I'm sitting in the chair, wheelchair, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm fucking vulnerable as a motherfucker. Man, I can't even fucking move or anything. Oh man, but my feet finally start to move a little bit, and I'm able to scoot myself into the cell and shut the door. And I sit back, leaning in the chair for about 30 more seconds, getting my awareness of what in my surroundings. And I'm trying to figure out what the fuck happened. I thought I had a lightweight stroke, or else maybe I felt this on my side of my lower jaw. I had this knot like the size of a marble, a muscle knot, and my back of my neck was all tensed up. So I thought maybe a pinched nerve jumped off, and you know, because I had that neck surgery, maybe something pinched and fucked me up. So I went over and I hit the call button, and I told I think I had, the nurse came on, everybody had emergency call buttons in their cell. So I hit the call button, and they asked me what, I think I had a stroke, I needed to have my vitals taken. So they came and did the vitals, and everything was all right. But I had this red dot also on the side of my neck. And that was from the end of the mop handle. I found out that a guy hit me twice. First when he jabbed me. Now, I'm looking in the mirror, and I see this big red dot right on my neck, right below my jaw. And I'm figuring out, you know, what this was from, right? So maybe something bit me or something, right? And, because there was no one in front of me, so I didn't relate it to anybody doing something to me, right? There was nothing in my vision that I saw that would alarm me to this. So they do the vital check. They tell me, well, your blood pressure's up a little bit, and everything's okay. So all right. So I'm thinking maybe it's pinched nerve. I'm ready to wait to see the doctor and tell him what the fuck, you know, how I went into a daze like. So then Tuesday, now the following day, I go out at 2 o'clock and at 5:30 and still get hot water and come back to the cell. And I guess these dudes are getting pissed off because I'm not asking to be locked up. You know, hey, somebody fucked me up, you know, locked me up. You know, because I didn't relate it to that, because how it happened. So Tuesday, the following Tuesday, medication came, and the nurse parks the cart by your door, opens the door, and opens the door about 2 foot wide. She gets the meds. You got your cup with the water. She gives you your meds. And before that happened, I was looking out, and I saw this black dude standing there, looking all funny, looking around. And I'm thinking, what the fuck's this guy doing? And then I see him looking towards me and looking around. Oh, fuck, something getting ready to jump. And he came walking over, and that's when he slipped in between the nurse and the door frame, slipped into the door, into my cell. As soon as he did that, this fucking nurse started screaming, ah, bloody murder, man. Like someone was trying to do something to her. And this dude, he I guess fucked up medically. Anyway, he makes a fist, and he's holding his arms straight out, and he starts swinging at me back and forth. I lift my elbows up and fist like a fighting stance sitting in the chair, and I turn, lean, and angle and block it with my forearm, block it, the way he's swinging his fist, block it, and it goes up over my head. And I turn the other way and block the other side. He does this about 3 times, and then you hear the feet stomping on the floor, and the cops are coming, because the nurse still screaming bloody murder. And he goes to slip out the door, and that's when the cops tell him, hit the wall. And they grab him, and they look in, and they tell me, you all right? I go, yeah, I'm okay. I said, he didn't get me. I was waiting for a jab or an uppercut, some kind of, this guy, he couldn't fight. I don't know why they sent him in to get me. They should have sent someone who could fight like a motherfucker, right? And so through all this, they're pulling me out for an interview. I thought, I don't know this dude, or we're getting kites, they want you out of the unit, dude, and someone's going to, if they don't, they're going to make a move on you. Then this lady sergeant comes up, and she goes, we got a kite that said you got knocked out the other day. I said, what? I said, I didn't get knocked out. She goes, yeah, we got a kite that said Sunday afternoon you got knocked out, right after dinner. You're coming back to your cell. I said, no, ain't nobody. I said, well, I had a pinched nerve or a light stroke or something. I said, maybe they saw me acting from that. She said, no, we got cameras everywhere. And we reviewed the photo, and the guy took the mop handle and he speared you right on the side of the jaw, and that's what knocked you out. Then he tried to jab you again, and that's why you had that big red mark on your neck. And I thought, really, man? I thought it was a pig. That's why I was going out and getting hot water still. I wouldn't have had it locked up, She goes, yeah, that's what got cut. This guy's got pissed off because you wouldn't lock up. So, that's why they do come in your cell. They would force the issue, get you out of the unit. They said, we're getting all these kites that said you don't get out of the unit, they're going to take care of things. So I got to write up paperwork, so they fucking tell me to pack my shit up. They moved me to another unit, not to the one I was first in, but to this other unit. They put me on max, which is I'm locked down until shower come out and shower. You either got shower or yard. I told them I'd shower every 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I come out and shower and back to the cell. Then I go to the committee August 1st, and they tell me they're getting kites from guys in other units in the prison all around. And people want me out of the prison if they're going to take care of me. So they said I'm a threat to the institutional security, and they're going to transfer me. I asked him where. And they said, well, we don't know. We're just going to put you up for transfer. And then that was on August 1st. And August 6th, I ended up telling them to pack my stuff. They loaded up into one of them lift vans, bring up the wheelchair in the back. Threw all my property in there, put me in there. 9 hours on the road down here to fucking bumfuck Egypt out here in the fucking desert. Fucking 40 miles from Arizona. Fucking 100-degree weather every day, man. We got air conditioning in the cell. So, I mean, this air is blowing so hard. There's a vent right above the toilet, and the air is coming down. The air, hey, I take a dump and wipe myself, and I can't throw the paper between my legs because the air is blowing so much, it'll blow it right back out. I got to throw it down behind me so it hits the water. For telling you this cell's crazy enough, but I got my own shower, so I'm fully self-contained. I keep everything clean. So, but you know, every day I have the workers come in and sweep them up. Now they let me out around other people. Nobody has said nothing to me yet. They told me, you know, when they told me the other day, they came up to me, council came up and told me next week I'm going for an annual review every year. He tells me, they asked me one time when I first got here, when you get done with your medical, you're going back to Stockton. And I started laughing. They told me, what's so funny? I said, well, I ain't going back to Stockton. Now, you know, if we can send you back to Stockton, you go, these people don't even read the file work, man. I ain't going to tell them. Stockton ain't going to take me. They consider me a threat to institutional security. You know, that's what they were telling me at committee, the warden. So, the other day, a guy came up and he told me, where do you want to go? I told him, send me back to San Quentin. We talk all this level 2 shit. They don't have protective custody units no more. They got what they call 50-50. Half the guys are protective custody. The other guys they consider so low, level 2, they're not going to do nothing. But like I'm trying to refrain, but these people understand, and some people are right, that the me being responsible for the free strike law, it ain't going to matter. If a motherfucker got a bad day, you know, a girl leaves him or whatever, you know, and there's a motherfucker responsible for the free strike law, they're going to come at me. So I don't know what these people, I'm trying to get my lawyers to tell these people, just leave me here. You know? Okay. So I don't know what's going to happen.
So to round this out, you're talking about how California used your case to pretty much pass the three strikes law in California?
Yeah. Yeah, they used me to pass it, yeah. They tried to get it passed before, but the guy could never do it. Could never get the votes. And I come along with my criminal history, being in and out, and all the violent crimes, you know, the other kidnap robbery I had. And the last time I had a girl as a crime partner. So we made that girl go to the bank. Her sister's gay lover made her go to the bank and withdraw $9,500. Then I told her, well, fuck it. I ain't got nothing to lose. You might as well go on a run. That's when we went all the way up Washington, hit Oregon, started hitting all over. But Oregon really wasn't all that great to rob banks because they had all them fucking glass windows up all around the tellers. So, but yeah, it was back in '82, but yeah. Yeah, I can't go nowhere, man. They got the word out on me. Stockton, from what happened in Stockton, the word's out. I'm sure somebody there knows somebody here in Ironwood, and they sent the word on down. Yeah, they sent that Davis guy, this John Davis guy in there. You know, so I just got to keep my eyes open and ears open wherever I go and listen to what the conversation is around me. But like I told them people in Stockton, if you're getting all these kites dropped, if motherfuckers were serious, they ain't going to drop no kite. They're just going to do it. So if they're dropping kites, fuck them. Just keep me locked up, on this max custody, shower 3 times a day. It'd be just like on the road at Quentin, Locked up in the cell, come out, shower, go back, get your hot pot and everything cooked. I got my hot pot now. I just got it the other day. Already cooked me up burrito mix earlier. Fucking nice as motherfucker, man. I got money for sodas and all that shit. Fuck. Time-wise, I'm doing all right. Sure, I may be sentenced to death. Shit, that ain't. I'm ready for that. If it ever happens. Probably die of natural causes. Shit's gonna give out sooner or later. 70 years old now. I never thought I'd live this long. In a wheelchair, barely walking. Yeah, I'm just waiting for time, man. Hey, I ain't praying to God. I ain't asking for no forgiveness or nothing. I'm ready to see, let the dice roll and see what the fuck jumps. Next stage.
That was part 3 of my interview with Rich Allen Davis. Thank you for listening.